friends, it is your bookish bestie here, Layla, and I know I may look a mess. I'm actually using an Instagram filter to start this vlog because I stayed up, you guessed it, way too late reading, and it is New Release Tuesday. I am here for one thing and one thing only. I know I always say that and I always end up lying, but we're gonna try our hardest and we're just gonna see what books they have today. It is also my last day of the weekend, which is kind of sad. My short week cries and I wish I had more time to read. It is also like 88, 90 degrees today here in Arizona, which is terrible. I'm sweating in the car, so let's go. Hello, Barnes & Noble. Let's see if they have it. And here it is. This is the book I came for. I also love the novella that matches the book sizes and the sprayed edges. I love this little section. Love this. Super cute. Ooh, and they have a little bookstore book nook. Oh my gosh, stop. The new fiction. More new releases. New in paperback. I need to get this book. And this one, The Twisted Throne, this is a new release today, I believe. She haunts me every time I come in the bookstore. This is a new release, the Griffin Sisters Greatest Hits. I love the sprayed edges for these, actually. I don't know, though. Something about this book just doesn't seem like it catches my interest right away. Let me know if you've read this and if you like this. I think the problem with being obsessed with book shopping is that I own a lot of these books. Ooh, House of Blight. That is something, though, that I am curious about and has been on my hopefuls since I've seen it. I actually saw that the author is going to be at a bookstore that's local to Arizona doing a signing. I don't think I will make it, but, you know, it looks and sounds so interesting. It says Fae Gothic, and that is 100% like my favorite, so yes. This is gorgeous. Look at those sprayed edges. I did read this as an ARC and I wasn't the biggest fan though. I am devastated that Book of the Month did not include this in their books because I have all of the other Part of Your World series from Book of the Month except for this one, which is annoying. All right, besties, it is so much later and I am home. I did have a little bit of a D1 crash out here because I went to Target and they did not have the one thing that I needed, which was water bottles, and it was really hot, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just leave now, it's fine, and I didn't get anything, and then I ordered, like, from the grocery store delivery to get water and some food and some other things, because, you know what I should have picked up? I should have picked up some nasal spray because I have really bad allergies and this like dryness is not doing it for me. I essentially cannot breathe at all. It's fine. But because I was upset about the water, because that was what I really needed, I didn't get it. So then obviously like I was like, okay, I gotta do this now. So I took care of all that. I took a little bit of a nap because I was tired. What I'm first going to do here is finish the book that I'm currently reading, which is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. I have like less than 100 pages left. Let's see. I'm on page 385 and there are, ignore the mess that I was cleaning up. There's like 427 odd pages. So I'm so close to finishing this. And after I finish this, I can finally like relax, take a shower, do all the girly things, and then start Fearless. This is like so much later than I anticipated, but it'd be like that sometimes. First up, we gotta set up the ambiance. I love to listen to Lo-Fi Girl, especially the Dark Ambient radio station. It's just perfect for fantasy novels or just like the dark, quiet, calming vibes. I love having this on, even when I'm not reading, just I love this. I should have probably thought this better because I have my reading light or like my big lamp like right here. So now y'all are backlit, but I'm doing the best that I can. I heated up some food for myself in the air fryer. I like to eat the Tyson buffalo wing bites, like the boneless wing bites. It's just kind of a good meal for when I'm craving protein but don't feel like cooking a lot. So this is a big staple in my household. Oh, good. And then because it's kind of late, I have some cream soda, Dr. Pepper. Also, I have the book in my hand. I'm so excited. I'm gonna take you through all my step-by-step process of what I do. So the first thing that I do is I take the dust jacket off. Oh my gosh, look at that, look at her. And then I have some tabs here, and I'm going to probably tab it, this is a bigger book, but every 50-ish pages. And then I'll update my either Goodreads or StoryGraph. Well, maybe not exactly every 50 pages, but like wherever the chapter leaves off. So, well, right here, it starts off, or it leaves off on exactly 50 pages. But like if it was 55 or 56 pages, then I would have ended it there. You know what I'm remembering that I love about these books? They have pretty short chapters. Okay, so like for this one, it ended at 107 pages. Chapter 13. The first line is, "Are you ready for it?" So how exactly did this happen again? Ominous spoiler warning. Yes, no, maybe so. We'll find out, fam. We'll try. I tried to vlog reading Onyx Storm and it just didn't happen because my camera died, and I just never brought it back out. And then like Nikki actually finished the book that night before my camera could fully charge. And then by that time I was like, well, it's fine. But I did get a lot of good content of like her reactions, which they were so good. And I felt so bad because she's a super fast reader and I am not. So she was literally trying to hold back, and I was not really goading her, but I'm just like, I care about my friend if she looks like she's in distress, all right? So when she's over here like freaking out, I'm just like, are you okay, girl? Like, I wish that I could comfort you because you look like you're stressed. And boy, was she stressing out. And then this weekend I worked a lot, so like the time that I would have had to dedicate to filming, I did not have, unfortunately. And next week I'm going to be going back home to California, so I'm probably not going to be having time to film there either. So I better be filming some vlogs, girl. Better be doing some fun stuff. I mean, I will be doing some fun stuff. I'm going to see my best friend for the first time in a few years, and we're going to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I wanted to go see my best friend because the other alternative is flying to Hawaii, and as much as I would like to do that, I have like no time. Fine. This is a long book. There's 11 tabs in here. If I stayed focused, that would be like 7 hours. I'm hoping to have this finished by Friday, maybe. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. So, yay. Fearless by Lauren Roberts. The Powerless Trilogy. Ooh, the dedication. For those fearless enough to follow their heart. Stop. My first impression is that this book is really awkward to hold. It's a thick gal. But that prologue, I want one of those characters to be Mac. I am so sad he didn't show up in Fearless. I wanted, or not Fearless, what was the last one? Reckless. In Reckless, I wanted him to show up, and I wanted him and Pei to team up. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. There's 550 odd pages worth of opportunities for Mac to show up. I'm gonna look like garbage. It's fine. This is just me in my natural habitat. He looks at me and I look at him. That's literally a line in this book. Why is he so obsessed with her being queen? I feel like this is to punish Kai. 100%. Because I know that there was like, I probably should have reread the last book, but I feel like there was something like an advisor who was pushing Kit to marry Peyton. But I feel like he's still king and he could have like yes or no'd or vetoed that. And it seemed like he wanted her dead. Oh, this is so awkward to hold. This video is just like view of my cup. I should reorganize this better. I took some stuff off my bookshelf that was like not actually books or like things that could go off my bookshelf. Excuse me? You want to read too. You want your attention. She wants attention. Mwah. Not anymore. What? I don't trust you. That's not for kitties. This is definitely a spoiler, but this quote so far. Why couldn't we have just stayed in the field of poppies? The poppy scene. I loved that so much. I would spend the rest of my days making her flower crowns if she wanted to be a queen. My queen. Not Kit's. Not Ilya's. Mine. Okay, update. So I'm on page 63 or 62. It has been a while. I had to cook some food for work. I made some rice. Can we be so for real though? Kit is pissing me off. Like, she literally went to say to him that she's sorry that she killed his father, but like he came at her and he just ignored it. But now in chapter 7, like Peyton is having a nightmare and Kai came in and was like, we both know it will take more than a locked door to keep me from you. See, I love Kai Azer. I will probably say this a million times. Man's got lines for days. A butter knife, really? It's all I have at the moment, I grumble. Tonight we pretend. Let me read more. Okay, friends, so I finished Fearless by Lauren Roberts, and I honestly was debating whether to finish making this video. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I was loving this, vlogging it, like fangirling over everything. And then I got to Eldrick's chapters, and I read one. This is going to have spoilers, just so you know. It just gave me the immediate ick, and I put the book down for a few days, and then I was like, I need to finish this. But I really was not a fan. I typically am not a hater. Like, I might dislike a book and I won't talk about it. However, again, because I did start filming a video about this and I had planned to share it, I think it's a disservice not to talk about it, because that, if not, that was just a waste of my time. And I will say there are parts of the series that I like. I ended up rating this book 3 stars, and I will read my review on Goodreads for you. I just felt bad rating it any lower, and I had to take into account that I did like the other books in the series. I just didn't like this one, and I didn't like the way that it ended. And here's my review. 3 stars. I cannot properly express my feelings for this, unsure whether I hated or loved this. It felt like a giant episode of Maury. Additionally, I almost want to say that there should have been a 4th book. Ultimately, I feel like there were so many unnecessary plot points and the twist felt somewhat cheap to me. I did love the banter, we'll maybe update later, and like I never updated, so like that's fine. I do know for sure now that I did not love the book and I still kind of hated it, and I'm going to talk about something a little controversial here, but there is a lot of discourse on the internet about Powerless and the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard and how Lauren Roberts has kind of stolen ideas from the Red Queen. And at first, I will admit, and I will say, because I had not read the Red Queen, I actually read Powerless before the Red Queen. I read Powerless and I read Powerful and Reckless. And then I actually did read the entire Red Queen series, and At first, I was like, I can kind of see where the comparisons come from, but I still thought that Powerless stood on its own for the fact that it feels like Powerless was more of like a romantasy, and it was more about like the tension and banter. However, with that being said, after finishing this book, I understand the allegation. I'm gonna try and be polite and kind about this because I don't like bashing work. However, I am reviewing, and these are my honest opinions. This is just how I feel. If you were in the camp that this series is a lot like Red Queen and kind of a ripoff, then you will not like this, and I don't suggest reading this. There was a lot of repetition. I feel like if you were to read the series like full stop from like first book to last book, you would not be able to finish it, because while the banter and the tension is good, it is completely and totally repetitive to the point where it almost cheapens itself. For example, by the time that this book was over, I wanted to pretend that I didn't know what the word pretend meant. That was mentioned way too many times. Oh, and also, we're inevitable. Our fate's inevitable. The lines just repeated itself, and I have a couple opinions on this. This could have either been a 4-book series. I mean, it technically is with a novella, but like a 4 main book series, or it could have been 100 pages shorter. I also feel like the second set of trials was so unnecessary, and I hated it. And it really didn't make sense why Peyton had to do that, because I know the way that the author had like wrote it was that the people of Ilia wouldn't respect her if she didn't do that. But I think that that's wrong, and I just wasn't a fan of Kit and like his behavior. And this is where I say that the author ripped off Red Queen, especially the last book, because she totally made Kit a maven, 100% a maven, and I hated it because it just didn't work well. I also feel like Callum being her real dad was so out of left field, and it didn't make sense. Like, there was no foreshadowing that I remember at all about this. Also, the fact that Callum hated his daughter Peyton because she was ordinary. Excuse me? Like, I was hoping for, maybe naive of me, but like somewhat of a happy ending for someone to care about her. Also with Blair, also there's that weird part where like you think that she dies, right? In the epilogue, it talks about a girl with the lavender / purple, whatever color hair she has, and the burnt face, and they just kind of pass ways. Also, another big thing I have that's beef with this book is that we never find out who Kai's dad is. Like, we find out the whole like loophole with, you know, how Eldrick, is that his name? Eldrick married Kai's mom to be the queen because of the fact that she was having a baby out of wedlock, but we never find out who like the dad was, and I just have a lot of questions. Actually, I lied. My biggest gripe of the whole story is that Mac's character had so much potential. So much potential, and she just used him as a plot device to fight Peyton in the 3rd trial. I'm sorry. No. And on top of that, Mac didn't like Peyton and he wanted her to suffer. You're telling me you create a character who has the same exact powers as Kai, and when Peyton is running away from Kai because she thinks that she's going to get killed, she doesn't meet him, and like they don't team up because they both loved Adina? What the heck? That would have made for such a good story if when Peyton was running away like across the scorches and whatnot, if she had met up with Mac and they had gotten together, and while Kai was trying to pursue her, she had someone who had the same exact set of powers as Kai had on her side so that Kai couldn't 100% get to her. and could only get to her when it was like her idea. Do you see what I'm saying? That would have been great. But like for him just to be like a lamb for slaughter, just like Adina, it was not good. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. Overall, I think that there is a lot of good tension and banter, which I really enjoyed. There were parts where I kicked at my feet and giggled, but I think once we got the twist that Peyton was actually like the late queen's daughter and Kit's sister, I just didn't like it. It was very much like, again, an episode of Maury. And again, massive spoiler. I'm warning you, stop right here if you don't want to hear it. Her and Kit find out about it and still get married. I thought for sure like they wouldn't end up getting married. No, they still got married. They still got married, knowing that they're siblings or half siblings, but they still did it. So yes, I'm glad that I read this because it was so popular, but it was just a book that I read. I just don't know if I can get over the accidental incest. Truly, that was that. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this hate. This was a hater video. It started off so strong and I really had the highest hopes for this book and it just fell flat. And I feel so bad again because I don't like talking negatively about books. But with that being said, I wasted so much time reading this and it almost put me in a reading slump. It took me so long to read this. It took me days because I simply had to put it down and start another book so that I didn't stop reading for the rest of the month because I could not. Anyways, I sincerely hope that you are unlike me and that you enjoyed the book and didn't feel like it wasted your time. There were some good moments in the book, but overall, I just didn't like it. I will see you in my next video, which I'm actually filming right now, but you will not see this soon. Probably. We'll see. Bye, friends!